Now, the Joao Felix story, it's such a strange one. It really is. Imagine at the age of 19, you're untouchable. You're on top of the world. You're the king of your boyhood club, Benfica. You're scoring goals. You're winning games. You've just delivered the Liga NOS League title. You're celebrating with the fans. Everybody loves you. Everybody idolizes you. You had Arabs across the world thinking you're a Ballon d'Or quality player. We'll just keep this as our little secret. But fast forward to 2025. Milan, Joao Felix. Joao Felix is on the verge of representing a fifth club in 2 years. In 2 years, Joao Felix has put on 5 different jerseys. Why? And I feel like with Joao Felix, his entire career, the $1,000,000 question has always been, why? Why is this happening to him? Why is he struggling to replicate the form that at the time had me saying crazy things? I was telling the world, this dude is better than Kylian Mbappe. Where did it go wrong? And most importantly, is this the right signing for Milan? Now, at the age of 19, Joao Felix became the 4th most expensive player in the world. You heard me right. The 4th most expensive player in the world. Why and how? Diego Simeone, Atletico Madrid, they were keeping a close eye on the Portuguese Wonderkid. They saw what he'd done in a Benfica shirt. They saw the quality. They saw the promise. They saw the potential. And they told themselves, we are going to base our new project on Joao Felix. Called up the bank and told them, prepare 126 million euros. We are about to break our own record. We are about to break the bank for this Portuguese Wonderkid. But let's just say his time at Atletico Madrid didn't live up to everybody's expectations. Didn't live up to his. Didn't live up to Simeone's. Didn't live up to the Atletico Madrid fans. And now he feels like a failed Wonderkid at the age of 25 that's just being thrown around from club to club. He's had quite a few managers. Frank Lampard, Xavi, Diego Simeone, Enzo Maresca. Yet every single one of them is on the same page of, we don't want to start Joao Felix. We don't want to integrate him into our team. He is a bench player. He is a utility player. Why couldn't he cement a spot in any one of those teams? And I look at Joao Felix and tell myself, it's one of the two. Either he's overhyped and he's not as good as the world thought he was, or he's one of the most unfortunate players and had one of the saddest careers, because no matter where you put him, it doesn't work out. But the $1,000,000 question is, Milan have secured his services on loan. Does he have anything to offer at the age of 25? And in my opinion, this is a player with a point to prove. This is a player where this is his last chance at a top club, and I feel like he needs to get it right and go out there and deliver the goods and tell the world, I am Joao Felix. Now let's just start off with his numbers throughout his career. You could clearly see this is a player of promise. This is a player of pedigree. This is a very penetrative attacker, because no matter where you've put him, when he starts, he contributes. He gets goals. He gets assists. This is a player that at 19 years of age, in his first season of men's football, getting 22 goal contributions in 21 starts for Benfica and delivering the Liga NOS title. Throughout his time at Atleti, he was always in and out of the team. At times he was used as a target man. At times he was even used as a wing back. But when he did start, he delivered. I feel like at Chelsea, he wasn't really given the opportunity. And at Barcelona, when you look at his numbers, I feel like he delivered the goods, but no manager saw enough or trusted him enough to make him a guaranteed starter. Now, if I was just to look at his numbers of this season at Chelsea, you can clearly see he is a player as an attacker that brings something into the final third. He's a player that has shots on goal. Why? Because he gets himself into dangerous areas and he has a pop on goal. He's also a player that's good in those tight, congested areas. He knows how to create that half yard for himself to have a shot on goal. He's a player that has an eye for goal. On top of that, he's a player that creates opportunities. I feel like in the final third, he has the IQ. He has the broad passing range to be able to spot his teammates. But on top of everything, to get them the ball at the right time. He averages 3.58 opportunities per 90. the pass accuracy. He's a player that's good at retaining the ball. I feel like he's very calculated. He knows when to pass forwards. He knows when to pass backwards. He knows when to take that risky pass. And on top of everything, what are the things that Joao Felix stands for? The things that even till now make him one of the most entertaining players to watch. His progressive carries. When he picks up the ball, he can hurdle challenges. He can dribble in and around players. And there's a reason why so many people still think there's a player deep down in Joao Felix that's just waiting for the right opportunity, waiting for the right club, waiting for the right manager in order to explode. Now, as an attacking player, I feel like he's got it all and he's shown it throughout his career. He can score every type of goal and that's what makes him such a threat. Like, you look at the goal against Morecambe in the FA Cup, outside the box, chop of the shoulder, into the top corner. You see a diving header against Manchester United in the Champions League a few years ago. You see the body manoeuvre and then the first time chip over Atletico Madrid when he was representing Barcelona. Then you see the neat and tidy finish once again, playing for Barcelona against Atletico Madrid. And then finally a goal from this season where first time cut back into the box, smashing it into the roof. And then he's shown I can score left foot, right foot. He's shown I can score goals when you give me the ball in areas where I don't really have the opportunity to shoot, but I will create the opportunity for myself. He's one of those players that he's very good at improvising in the final third and just finding a way to make it work. But why? Why hasn't it worked out? It hasn't worked out because a lack of consistency. He's one of those players where he might give you one good game out of 5. And for managers that want to win games, for teams that want to win games, having a player that steps up 1 out of 5, 1 out of 10, it's not good enough. He hasn't been consistent throughout his career. He's one of those players that gets put into that bracket of on his day, he's unplayable. But how many times does that day really come? How many times has that day really come throughout Joao Felix's career? But the ability is there. The promise is there. The technical ability, the intuition in the final third, it's all there. But on top of that, a lot of managers have had problems with his attitude, his body language, the fact that he doesn't really offer much off the ball. Joao Felix is not one of those relentless players. He's not one of those players that shows much fight off the ball. When you need players to get down and dirty, Joao Felix is not one of those. And there's a reason why throughout his career, he's always been labelled as a luxury player. When things are going well, when you're winning games, that's when he stands out. But when you ask your players to fight and you try to rally the troops, Joao Felix leaves through the back door. But Milan, I really do think it's an exciting signing. Why? It's on loan. It's a player with a point to prove. He knows deep down within himself, I've had so many opportunities at so many top clubs, but I haven't lived up to it. But for some reason, the top clubs keep knocking on my door because they know what he's done. They know what he's capable of. And I feel like Milan are looking at it and telling themselves, this is the start of a new era. They've just got a new number 9. They've just got a new manager. Milan are building a very nice, fluid attack. And why not make him, as you can see in the 4-2-3-1, as the connector, the player that plays in that roaming number 10, the player that connects midfield to attack, the player that now has the responsibility to create, to score, to orchestrate in the final third. And speaking on Milan as a whole, it makes their attack on its day one of the most dangerous in the world. You've got Rafa Leao, you've got Christian Pulisic, you've got Santiago Jimenez, and now you add on top of it Joao Felix. All 4 of those players can create, but at the same time they can score. This is a Milan attack that's now going to have a surplus of goal scorers. And on top of that, now it means Reinders can drop a little bit deeper. What does that mean for Milan? Reinders can now sit next to Fofana and be responsible for progressing play, for picking up the ball in deep areas and carrying it forwards and getting it to the attacking players in the right space at the right time. The team on paper, Milan, it looks amazing. It really, really, really does. It's one of those teams that you would love to be when playing FIFA. But the problem is, I look at Joao Felix and I look at some of the players at Milan and I say this can either go well or it can go really, really, really bad. Because there's already question marks over Rafa Leao's inability to press and track back. And sometimes he comes across lazy. Theo Hernandez is a player that throughout his time this season at Milan has always been labelled as he needs extra motivating. And he is a player where off the ball he doesn't offer much. You add in a Joao Felix, and if he was to bring that lazy culture of his, if he was to go out there on the pitch and also be lazy and not fight, Milan now have a lot of passengers off the ball. Trust me, one passenger is bad, but two is worse. Three is worse. Four is a calamity. And I look at Joao Felix and I tell myself, throughout his career, managers that have gotten on the wrong side of him, managers that have struggled to get anything out of him, are managers that have the personality of a Sérgio Conceição. Sérgio Conceição's personality is very similar to Diego Simeone's. He's a man that wants fight, he wants grit, he wants players that give him 150%, no excuses. Diego Simeone and Joao Felix never saw eye to eye. Sérgio Conceição, I feel like now he has the assignment as a fellow Portuguese to try and motivate Joao Felix, to try and put that fire in his belly and tell him, go out there and play your game, but go out there and prove your haters wrong. Now, if you're new, make sure to subscribe, make sure to hit the like button, make sure to let me know what you think of this signing in the comments, and I'll catch you guys on another one.